In 1988, a number of patients in Philadelphia simultaneously bleed to death from significant blood loss in their brains. Detective Holt, Lockhart's brother-in-law, is involved in the case investigation by police officer Thomas Lockhart and his partner, Maddox. When Lockhart discovers that each victim had a similar puncture wound, he comes to the conclusion that the deaths are related. Lockhart and Maddox discover an assault victim who has the same injuries. Before she passes away, she characterizes her attacker as a black woman who had a cut hand. After pursuing the suspect into an underground car, Lockhart and Maddox manage to subdue her. The suspect tells Lockhart information about his life, including the fact that his wife is due to give birth that day. Shortly before a struggle that culminates with a train striking and killing her, she makes a death prediction for herself. The police conclude the case despite being perplexed by the numerous unexplained elements. Lockhart's wife passes away during giving birth. In 1997, 9 years later, a seemingly identical person starts a new murdering spree. Lockhart, who is currently a detective and looks after his little daughter Amy, is unable to identify a motive or link between the victims. Lockhart follows keys found in 1988 to a 1996 built airplane. Scientist Naveen Rao maintains that this is evidence of time travel, but Maddox and Lockhart don't listen to him. Lockhart is astonished to discover the identical suspect from 1988, who is still alive and hasn't aged, after following the copycat to an airfield. By mistakenly killing Maddox and kidnapping Lockhart, she once more exposes details of his past that she was unaware of. She walks away from him after reprimanding him. In 2006, Lockhart is a private detective who is consumed with investigating the case. He now thinks that time travel and the missing Dr. Rao are involved. Amy, who is a teenager, resides with Holt, and Lockhart rarely speaks with her. After visiting the wife of one of the victims from the 1988 killings who had not yet been reported, Lockhart learns that her husband was the leader of a white supremacist militia group. When Lockhart and Holt meet, Lockhart puts forward the hypothesis that the suspect is killing every terrorist group member by traveling back in time while they are moving forward. Holt rejects the theory and demands that Lockhart seek mental health treatment. After stealing Holt's badge and using it to pose as a police officer, Lockhart chases down the white nationalist leader's ex-girlfriend. When she gets to her house, she discovers that the suspect has killed her. Lockhart pursues the suspect, shooting her in the hand, and then time-traveling away from her. Holt arrests Lockhart while an unseen Rao looks on. 2015, Lockhart hears Amy's voicemail pleading with him to attend her child's birth while he waits for her on the beach. Abruptly, Rao kidnaps him. Rao acknowledges creating the injection that the lady uses to murder her victims, a technology whose effects can be time-triggered remotely. He claims that he now supports her cause and that she is only killing people who serve as an inspiration to those who commit horrible tragedies. After escaping Rao, Lockhart approaches the woman, who introduces herself as Rhea, his granddaughter and Amy's daughter. Years later, when Rhea is 9 years old, Lockhart persuades an adult Rhea to accept the assignment after the militia group's terrorism started a new civil war in 2024. Rhea is going back in time, showing up every 9 years in reverse chronological order, and using a remotely activated isotope to inject her targets in the back of their necks. She does not yet perceive the events of 2006 as having happened, nor has her hand been injured. Lockhart admits that he killed his own granddaughter in 1988 because he was overcome with sorrow about what happened to her. He allows her to finish her quest since he believes her cause is right. An elderly Rao initiates the injections after Rhea leaves for the past, eliminating Rhea's targets and wiping out the terrorist strike and the ensuing civil war from history. In 2015, Lockhart makes his way back to his family and welcomes the prospect of a fresh start with his granddaughter.